Welcome to the CCing My EA podcast. Every now and then, we speak with an experienced executive assistant about tips to improve as an EA. Today's guest is Kelly Kovacs. Kelly was EA and Chief of Staff to the CEO of Twitter from 2010 to 2015, where she led several of the company's most strategic initiatives and special projects. Kelly is a founding partner at 01A, a boutique growth stage venture firm run by Dick Costolo and Adam Bain, former CEO and COO of Twitter. Kelly works closely with 01A portfolio CEOs and executives to provide organizational leadership and coaching as they go through scaling challenges. Kelly is also the founder of eaMAFIA and eaRISE, a private community of high-growth executive assistants in tech and venture. I met them. They're great. The platform provides thought leadership and community to an incredible group of like-minded EAs. Without further ado, Kelly Kovacs.
Before we actually get started, so I wanted to bring something to your attention. And
shoot.
Yeah.
Sounds bad.
It's not necessarily bad. I just need you to explain what's going on here.
Okay. The raccoon. Is this an old Twitter post? This is a tweet.
It might be.
This is amazing and very, very throwback. It looks to me like this is my Portola Valley house back in the day.
Yeah.
And we really lived in the woods. Like we were very much almost like in a tree house. And if you have we had a cat.
Okay.
And the cat door we had would attract all sorts of animals, and one of them being raccoons. And actually, in this particular day, the raccoon is just hanging out on our room in our bedroom. And my cat was like this Mancoon. He's no longer alive. R.I.P. Nico. And the way this thing ended is we opened the door, the sliding door, which you see down below, which was terrifying, by the way, to get close to the raccoon.
Totally, I would imagine.
Open the door, the sliding door. And as the raccoon, the raccoon wanted to get out too. It was like, how the hell did I get stuck in this? Like, where have I landed? And raccoon scurries down, and my cat is such a badass, just like full on, like takes its paw and just whacks it in the face. And the raccoon didn't even retaliate, and it ran out the door. It was like the most amazing. It was an incredible moment of a household cat going after pretty wild raccoon feral. Yeah. And it was a pretty bold move. It was like a last minute, like, don't come back, you raccoon, like slap in the face.
Yeah, like you don't belong here.
Yeah, like you have to boss up, basically, so that they know who's boss. And that raccoon did not come back.
Do you want to hear about Kelly's Twitter days? But we're going to start off by having it usher with this. So what's going on here?
So at the very beginning of my tenure at Twitter, it was like 2010. We were all wearing lots of different hats, and we decided to throw a party in Las Vegas, which is a very bad idea, but we did it anyway. And I was organizing it with a woman, Jessica Verrilli, who's now a GP and was at Google Ventures for a very long time. Anyway, we put on this Twitterati party because back in the day, we wanted to differentiate from Facebook, which is absolutely hilarious thinking about now. And so we wanted to attract VIPs like Katy Perry, Kobe Bryant, people who were famous that wanted to get on the platform. And so we wanted to throw a party where these people could come and mingle with, the actual Twitter employees and learn how to use best practices for, like amplifying their platform on Twitter.
A crazy thought, like now in hindsight.
Yes, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely like, we're like, oh, I have an idea. Let's invite a bunch of famous people and like show them how to use Twitter.
We can hang out with Twitter employees.
Yeah. So it actually, like who wants to hang out with Twitter employees? But they actually really did. And it sparked something where our HQ in San Francisco became a very popular place for people to come and, kick off their Twitter account.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we had a ton of famous people that would roll through every single day
Yeah.
that, we got to shake hands with and stuff. So it was pretty cool.
That's incredible. Like, is there one that, I don't know, that just sticks in your brain for whatever reason? No need to go into details, but just a person that they left a great impression.
I think that probably the best person, why I'm drawing a blank on her name, but she calls her fans monsters. Lady Gaga. Thank you.
Ah,
So, yes, Lady Gaga. How could you forget her name? Uh, so Lady Gaga decided she wanted to come into Twitter. She was 4 hours late to her time. And so we kept having to push everyone back, letting them know that she's still coming, but she's not here. It was obviously not a very productive work day.
no.
And when she did come in, she had this insane dress on and this wild wig that was like 4 or 5 feet tall. And actually, she studied engineering in school. So she wanted to learn how we coded and what went into the coding of a tweet. And so,
Oh,
um,
interesting. Cool.
like our lead engineer, Ravi, went in and, put a ton of stuff like coding and showed her how to do it. We have a bunch of pictures and videos
Which
of
you were
her.
like totally not expecting as a request from Lady Gaga, I'm assuming.
No, not at all. It was really cool. Yeah, it was an amazing experience. I mean, the other one is Snoop Dogg coming in and he smoking pot in our commons, and basically all of us leadership team almost going to jail for that. So that
Right,
was
right.
memorable. Yeah, that was a memorable experience too. So Lady Gaga and Snoop Dogg are pretty tied for first place here.
So when you were at Twitter for the most part, you were EA to Dick Costolo, correct?
Yeah, Dick Costolo. So he, at the time when I joined,
I completely mispronounced his last
it's
name.
okay. It's Costolo. It's like
Costolo. It's
Italiano. Yeah,
Costolo.
it's Costolo. So yeah, he was the COO at the time, and I joined as his assistant. I had never been an EA before.
Yeah.
He had never had an EA before. So truly the blind leading the blind, not really sure why they hired me as the very first EA at
Yeah.
Twitter. Thankful for the opportunity. And 6 months later, he became the CEO. So it was a wild ride for us. But I felt initially that Dick and I, our personalities and
Mhm.
the what he was looking for and what I could deliver was like really perfectly matched.
So, and you were in the EA role for how long again?
So I was an EA for at least 3-4 years, and then I became the chief of staff. So in total, six-ish years at Twitter, and so really evenly split between the two. And but yeah, it was an amazing experience for me.
So would you? Obviously, I know you as someone who like takes initiative. Quite honestly, so would you say that like that at just meaner that gene, whatever that is about you, is that what you think boded well to then go from EA to chief of staff? Like can take their job as seriously as they want, but if you do a really good job, you're going to get promoted. So, what was like the it thing for you that got you from one role to the next? Do you think?
I think the very beginning of my working relationship with Dick is he continuously gave me more rope as he continued to trust me.
Mhm.
So as he trusted me more and more, he would give me bigger projects and things to work on. And I think that following through and executing on those projects and doing a good job and hustling, taking, really prioritizing and making sure that, he had all the information at his hands that he needed in order to get something done and have him feel like he could really trust that I was making the right decisions, just continued to elevate the challenges that he would throw on my plate. And he really trusted me. So I think that that he believed in me, so he could challenge me and even see maybe stuff in me that I couldn't see. And so I think that maybe I wouldn't even asked for some of these larger projects. And but instead, of me going and asking, he was just throwing them on my plate, and I was ready to take them on. And in some ways, I've talked to some great EAs who are in eaMAFIA,
Yeah.
like Janet Kim, and Justine, Janae, and I think that in those early days, it's really important to to hustle and to, say like, hey, it's not really in our vocab to say, this isn't in my job description.
For sure. Yeah.
Instead, we're like, give it to us. Like, I want to take it on and I want to show you and prove to you that I can do this really well and I can get it done right.
Mhm.
And so I think that really can take you to the next level.
So in that whole experience, like, I think the number one thing that helped you succeed the most was just like, well, actually, you know what? Was this at a point in time in your life where you felt that you could have made a lot more personal sacrifices to succeed than you could now? Or like, what was the number one driver of your success?
I think that's a great point. I mean, my age was young. I started when I was 26. So when I left, I was 32. I
Mhm.
think that I did have a child in that time,
Mhm.
the last 2 years, which wasn't a good idea, but I love my son. And so it all worked out.
Well,
But yeah, it's really challenging to be, it is challenging when you have dependents and other things that are at stake. I was fully dedicated to my work, and I would get in at, 6:45, 7:30 in the morning and want to be there preparing myself before Dick got there. And then, would leave late at night after he left. And I just love my job. I think that when you really love it and you are dedicated to the success of the executive and the company, you're willing to do anything to help them succeed.
yeah, I was just because I was gonna initially ask you just what helped you succeed, but as I was asking, I thought I know this was like in a past chapter of your life,
Yeah.
and I think back to the jobs that I've had, and like there's just certain energy levels that you
Yeah,
can and can't spend in just chapters of your life. So
totally.
it sounds like this was just really good timing as well.
It was great timing. Yeah, it was great timing for me. I was ready to prove myself. I had been at another company that was selling website design, which, as we all know, is now automated through Squarespace and Wix.
Mhm.
So it's a good thing I got out of that industry, but it was a very much like going and knocking on doors, like finding clients, very physical, like cold calling. And to move into a tech company that was so progressive, it just like had its own like incredible energy behind it that
Right.
motivated you. So
Totally.
yeah,
No,
timing was great.
that's awesome. I
Yeah.
okay, so clearly you learned a lot and you did a lot at Twitter, and I know you're doing a lot now. So could you do a pretty good job pinpointing what skills you developed there that help you now in your post Twitter stint?
Yeah. I think that the one thing, that skill that I developed at Twitter is
Mhm.
building relationships, which I don't know is always top of mind for people. And you're very, very busy. So you have a lot on your plate. So you don't have a lot of time to go grab a coffee with someone. But I always felt like it was important to take the time to meet the product manager, the engineer, the salesperson, and understand what they were working on. It helped me in so many different ways. It would help me better understand what, all the inputs were in order for us to move something forward and to really understand better the different facets of the business. But
Mhm.
then it also really helped me keep my ear to the ground, potential waves of issues or problems that we could see around corners. And that I would bubble up to the leadership team, or, just a side conversation with a great, engineer that I'm friends with.
Right.
And now today, and even in that role, anytime I needed something, I felt like I had already built this incredible trust and good rapport with so many different employees
Yeah.
that I could go to them and say, we need this like today. And I know that sucks, but could we do it? And they're like, I love you and I'll do anything for you. And I
Yeah,
was
right,
just like,
right.
thank you. And, like it's always good to follow up with like the box of cookies or like whatever it is that they love. And I just think that that really comes full circle for you. There's sometimes a certain type of mindset that a EA who is supporting the CEO can have. I've seen that is not successful, which is, you're burning bridges and you kind of come off as like a gatekeeper. And I don't think that that actually benefits you, the executive, and the company. The more open you can be, the more you can know about what people do and really appreciate what they're doing, I think it actually can really help you in the end. And
Yeah.
now I'm a venture world. I still work with Dick 14 years later, which is crazy. And those relationships is actually like what we lean on. And that's how we knew about VimCal, because
Yeah.
John worked at Twitter and I was keeping in touch with him and wanted to know what he was working on. And so it's incredible for me now today to be able to support our portfolio companies and pull in all these incredible people from our network. So building relationships is really important. I think it honestly to me feels like my like secret weapon that I can and that anyone really can pick up and do with, it's a skill set that you can continue to foster.
So do you ever have this thought? Because I mean, not to flatter you, but you do strike me as someone who just has like a higher level of emotional intelligence and like common sense. So if I had to like, take a stab at it. So um I would have guessed that like I know you've always probably been someone who's good at building relationships. I'm
Mhm.
just curious, like, what was it about the Twitter stint that like polished off what you already were probably pretty adept at?
I think it put it to work. Like it brought it out. It like helped me connect the dots, or I'm like, I need, in order to be successful, like I should be leaning in more to this skill. I should spend more time sitting with random people
Hmm.
at lunch so I can hear what they're talking about and like figure out what their gripes are and
Yeah.
what maybe their blind spots are, that I could even help them in some ways or they can help me. I think those moments where you maybe you're in a job where you feel like your skill set isn't being utilized, like get
Hmm.
out of that job, find a different job where you feel you can really put this skill set to the test and hone it. And I think that really matters. So in some ways it's like, innately that you probably are good at that, and maybe there were some
Right.
instances and experiences you had where you bring that out. But then when you get to be able to use it in a really thoughtful way that helps you in your job and helps your executive, I think that's, you can lean in more to that skill set.
I
So
don't, I
it
don't know
brought
if
it
you
out of me.
I don't know if you've ever felt this way, and sorry that I keep like riffing off this particular question, but it just thoughts that are coming to me. Like a lot of the things that I have been told or that I've noticed that I'm good at, like certain soft skills,
Mhm.
I've always just taken for granted because, like, well, if I'm good at them, like they're not special, like they're not like actual like things. Because maybe because you sit with them for so long that they're just normal to you, that they're not actual
Yeah,
like, differentiators. Have you ever
right.
felt that way about any of your skills?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that I intuitively am always trying to think about what is going to make someone more successful, because like that's that EA mindset. Like what can I do here that would like change this situation, or like thinking about something differently. I feel like I kind of obsess sometimes over these little nuances. And so actually one of the soft skills that I really have honed in on, and I appreciate, is actually, there was a lot of downtime when Dick would meet like get on stage with someone famous, like,
Yeah.
like if he, Kobe Bryant, or one of actually Valerie Jarrett, who was, senior advisor to President Obama for many years. And we worked a lot with the White House on many different things. And so there would be moments where we'd be in the green room and I knew we were going to have like 5 or 10 minutes with Valerie Jarrett. And I'm like, what are we going to talk about? Like, what is going to be said
Yeah. Yeah.
during those 10 minutes? And inevitably, like, I know Dick's going to be on his phone because he's going to feel uncomfortable. He's
Mhm.
not going to know what to say. He's going to be like, oh, hi, like, thank you so much for having us, whatever. And so I would ahead of time look up Valerie Jarrett, and lo and behold, she went to Michigan and so did Dick. I'm like, this is amazing. And so then I'm like, what years did she go and which years did he go? Oh, she went in, 1981 and he went in 1985 and she got her law degree there. So then that's all they talked about. I told Dick this little nugget of information. He's like, hey, like a fellow Michigan alum, like go blue, and they strike up a conversation, and all of a sudden, by the way, that ended up turning into, for Dick, a opportunity for him to speak at the Michigan
No way.
commencement. And it was like he was top three. It was like Oprah. You know how they rate all the commencement
Yeah. Yeah.
speakers
Yeah. Of
for the
course.
year? He ended up getting like top three with like Oprah and someone else. So
Mm.
it's those little like nuances that open things up for people. And I love connecting those dots. That was like a huge win for me. But it was a huge win for Dick. And so I think those little soft skills really matter. And Yeah. Don't overlook the things that you maybe instinctually come to your mind, that you think you should be leaning in on.
What's your main focus moving forward now? Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah. So to give context, eaMAFIA was started 5 years ago now in 2020
Mhm.
because Dick would constantly put me in touch with CEOs and their EAs and say, hey, like, they'd love some advice on how to set up their best practices in office and all that. And I always felt like I'm not necessarily the expert. And, Dick is very particular. And this is the way that we did things. What
Right.
if you could talk to other EAs to learn other, best practices? And so I launched with 20 people and really CEO EAs. And, for the last 4 years, we've cultivated this incredible community. And, everybody has this resource they can ask, these top of mind questions. And so this last year in January, we launched eaRISE, which is for EAs that are supporting VPs and C-suite and need that continued community. So we really expanded the community. And for us, I think it's really just trying to find those people who are looking for this community. They're
Mhm.
looking for a network of like-minded people who can help them think about what their work and what they're doing and make sure that they feel supported and that they're doing it the right way. Or maybe they're going into a salary discussion and how to best negotiate. What are the other what comps is everyone getting paid? So
Right.
for us, it's continuing to pour the resources that EAs need to feel supported so that they can just totally crush it and grow in their career. And I'm so proud of what we've built. I feel like it's very authentic. I think it's all built by the EAs
Mhm.
in the group, and it's a high quality people, and just people who are looking for connection and looking to share what they're learning.
That
And
was my big takeaway because for anyone that does end up watching this, there was an EA Rise mixer
oh,
later last. You were in a herringbone jacket. I can't forget it.
it was for our launch in
Right.
January. I was in a Harry Bone jacket. Did you like it?
It was great. Yeah, my LinkedIn photo was taken there. Come on.
Oh, that's so great. I love it.
Yeah,
We always use our
I think
office for profile shots.
it was Calder his name.
Calder is our like forever Mafia
Calder.
and Rise photographer. He was like at our summit. All our members know him. It's like the nicest guy.
He was like, "Wait, stand there. I'm taking your picture right there." So,
That's your
um,
LinkedIn photo?
it's my LinkedIn photo,
I'm gonna check
and
it out.
anyone that is watching this, I just want to note that confirmed, like, great group. Like I went back to John and Mike. I was like, that is the best group of EAs that I've ever that I met in my time with VimCal.
Oh, thank
So
you. It's a
quality is
really, really high quality, well curated group of people, and everyone has the same mindset. They're all there to help, and they're all there to, share their resources, and also, are really humble about, the things that they need help with. So it's great.
so. Final question.
Oh,
I know you weren't expecting it,
this
but
just went so fast.
what item under $25 do you own that has given you the most ROI?
Well, I really love wine, and that's a
Okay.
problem. So I actually have this incredible wine opener
Yeah.
that I'm sorry, it's $28 on Amazon right now, but you could get it on sale and it's sometimes $24. It's a housewarming gift I now give to every single person.
Okay.
It's the coolest thing. It's non-electronic. You twist it and you just keep twisting and the cork comes out. It's like I don't even understand the science behind it. But it's truly the most incredible corkscrew. You're going to have to send me your address and I'm going to send it to you.
I love it. I love it.
That'd be good. Yeah, I
All
love it.
right. Well, it's been great. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, it's been so great to catch up with you and
Yeah.
congrats on everything you built at VimCal.
Likewise at Mafia and Rise. But yeah, I'll probably be I'd like to get out to SF at some point this year because we have a lot of folk over there. So
Yeah, I know. You should try to do it when we have like an event going on
would
so
love
that
that.
you can see a bunch of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. No, it really is an amazing group. Like I ran back to the guys. I'm like, that's the best group of VAs I've been around. We need to work with them. That's awesome. That's where I met Ben as well. So yeah, it was fun.
Oh, awesome. Cool. All right. Thanks, Alex.
Callie, my pleasure. And see you soon.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.